Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to a record breaking Sunday on this cricket happening show. The reason that I'm saying it's a record breaking thing is because some T20 records were set up yesterday in the final T20 match between New Zealand and Sri Lanka, and it was something which was really very, I would say, a rare sight in cricket. First, an opener Martin Guptill goes on to score the fastest 50 by a New Zealander in T20 cricket when he slammed a half century of just 23, not 23, 23 was his earlier record. Today he slammed a half century of just 19 deliveries, and then Colin Munro comes in and slams the ball to all. Not, I mean, he doesn't. He was not actually slamming the ball to the fence, but he was slamming the ball all over the fence to collect 7 sixes and 1 4 to make an unbeaten 50 of just 14 balls to take his team to a victory in this T20 match against Sri Lanka. And not only did New Zealand win the series 2-0, but Colin Munro scored the second fastest half century ever in T20 cricket. As you would remember, the T20 cricket record for the fastest 50 stands in the name of Indian player Yuvraj Singh, who would remember that day when he went after Stuart Broad and cracked him for 6 sixes in a single over. And that is the time Yuvraj Singh cracked the 50 of just 12 balls there in the 2007 T20 World Cup, and that was the record. So the record actually stands in the name of India's Yuvraj Singh, but Colin Munro came absolutely close yesterday by doing a star turn there, as they absolutely decimated the Lankans yesterday in the second T20 match. So that is definitely going to be the focus on this cricket happening show. I'm going to take you down to that Colin Munro show that took place yesterday against the Sri Lankan bowlers. Now we slammed at 7 sixes and 1 4, a 50 of just 14 deliveries. Can you believe it? 14 deliveries he took to slam that 50, 1 4 and 7 sixes. What a knock from him. In fact, the winning hit was also a 6 to set the Eden Park ground alight here in Auckland. What a knock it was. It was simply out of the blue, but I would be talking about it now. But well, so let me just start off here by saying, also in this particular cricket happening show, there is another match which is happening. As you know, Afghanistan and Zimbabwe matches have been getting as exciting as it can be. And while I'm talking to you, as I said, there is a wicket fallen here at the Sharjah cricket ground of Asghar Stanikzai. He has not had a good series at all. He's gone for 18, bowled by Jongwei. And Afghanistan batting first in this T20 match are 116 for 2 currently against the Zimbabweans, after Zimbabwe won the toss and decided to insert Afghanistan in 118 for 2. And look at that, lion's share of that has gone to Mohammad Shahzad, who's an electric batsman according to me, and he has made a big difference to Afghanistan's fortunes, I reckon, because he's such a swashbuckling player. And he's not out currently on 84 of just 46 deliveries with 8 fours and 6 sixes that he has screamed throughout the Sharjah cricket ground. But well, I'll come back to that later. But let's keep the focus on the second T20. Let me first talk about this Colin Munro knock. I'll take you down to the Colin Munro knock, and let's pick up play here in this second T20 between New Zealand and Sri Lanka. And this is happening at the Eden Park in Auckland. Just to give you a sort of a synopsis here, it was Sri Lankans who batted first, and they raised the score. They were restricted to 142 for 8 from with some superb bowling. There was good wind conditions there in Eden Park in Auckland. And one thing I would say, the Sri Lankans themselves were responsible for their demise here, because if you look at that scorecard, Angelo Matthews was the only person who dealt with a firm hand with the Kiwi bowlers and got to grips with that pitch, because you had a tennis ball bounce there, and the ground was pretty small, He could crack a lot of sixes, but probably Sri Lanka were probably overconfident in the sense they thought that they could send the ball high and flying into the air on a very consistent basis, and that was what brought their downfall, as each and every batsman, without settling down, tried to attempt some big strokes, and in the end they perished, and Sri Lanka were restricted to 142 for 8, with Angelo Matthews scoring 81 of just 49 deliveries, with 7 fours and 4 sixes, doing a wonderful time. The other person to get into double figures was Tilgatne Dilshan, making 28 of 26 balls with 4 fours. Other than that, it was all single-digit figures for the Sri Lankan batsman. Gunatilaka was out for 8 of just 6 deliveries with 1 4. He lost his stumps to Adam Min when he went for an ugly hoik against Adam Min on a straighter delivery. Shahan Jayasuriya holed out trying to hit a delivery where Williamson took the catch of Adam Min for 3. Chandimal played a hopeless shot, I would say, prior to probably trying a reverse sweep there. Caught by tail of the bowling of the spinner Santner for 2. Then we have Srivardhana, very, very responsible, I would say. He was there when the situation was not at all right for the Sri Lankans. They were struggling at 63 for 4, and here comes Srivardhana attempting a big stroke of the very first ball that he faces, and that's why I told you it's talking about overconfidence. And Srivardhana tried to do it, and it ended up in a beautiful catch which was taken by Bordwell to run with the wind really swaying away the ball, and Srivardhana was out for a duck of the very first ball. Vitanage was another one who was out for 1, caught in the deep. Pereira disappointed by making only 6 runs. And Udana, who played 2 a day, was out for naught, but it was Angelo Matthews dealing with a firm hand. As I said, he was getting to grips with the pitch. He kept his cool, and he saw to it that he could at least get to New Zealand to a defendable score of 142. Van der Sar was not out. It's quite a different thing that this particular score proved nothing for the Kiwis, as they absolutely plundered the Lankans bowling, and they made mincemeat out of the Lankan bowling. So 142 for 8, and once more it was Grant Elliott with his military medium. 4 overs, no made in 22 runs and 4 wickets. Santner doing a good job for himself. 4 overs, no made in 224. Mitchell McLennan, 4 overs, none for 22. Adam Min rocking them by 4 overs, 2 for 36. And Trent Bolt was the one who got some real bashing in the hands of Angelo Matthews, who slapped him to the fence, over the fence twice for 6s. And he also hit some certain other 6s too. But Angelo Matthews was the one who was looking pretty confident, and as I said, he was getting into grips with the pitch. And as I said, the Eden Park, Auckland is a very small ground. You can hit maximum number of 6s, but the problem is that you have to hit it really cleanly, but if anything hangs in the air, it's all gone. And that's what happened. Angelo Matthews was a clean hitter, unbeaten on 81 of 49 deliveries, 7 fours and 4 sixes. And as I said, even that total of 142 was absolutely nothing for the Kiwis, as the Kiwis absolutely destroyed the Sri Lankan bowling attack to nothing, as 2 records were broken. First, Guptill went on to score the fastest 50 by a New Zealander of just 19 deliveries, and look at what happened. Colin Munro smashes that record by getting a 50 of just 14 deliveries with 1 4 and 7 sixes. It was absolutely scintillating stuff happening at the Eden Park in Auckland, which I am going to really talk about. Let's look at what Martin Guptill did. Let's start this innings and see how Martin Guptill started and how Martin Guptill got on to a 50 of just 19 deliveries. The first over was 8 runs. There was not much of hitting. It was just singles being taken, and then Guptill starts his job. Guptill actually hit Chamira for a 4 of the first delivery, and then it all started. The Udana delivery really started it all for Guptill, as Guptill started. In fact, in the 3rd over, Guptill actually stepped down the crease and slammed Udana for a 6 over the over a 4 through the mid-wicket boundary. And then, as you know, Guptill, who is very, very strong, straight down the wicket, cleared the front foot and put the ball over the long off fence for a 6. And now this ball was hit with tremendous power, because what it hit is it really hit the end of the bat, and the ball sailed yards into the stands, I would say, to make it a very costly over for Udana, where he leaked 15 runs. And after that, what was to come was something which was absolutely ominous, as Van der Sey, who already had the taste of Guptill in one particular one-day international, as you would all remember, but today it was once again some smashing stuff coming from Guptill, as the leg spinner Van der Sey was totally cut to pieces here by Guptill, as Van der Sey, the first ball that he bowled in that particular match, Guptill went back and smashed it through the cover region. In fact, got an edge. It didn't matter because the ball was really flying. It went through the third man for a boundary. The next ball was outside the off stump. Guptill hit it over the cover region of the front foot for a boundary, and then he followed it up with a beautiful six. It got on the front foot and just put him over the pickets there, and then the next delivery was flatter and faster. It didn't matter. He had actually flat batted it over the bowler's head for another four, and then Williamson was looking like a mere spectator there as Pereira was over. This is the time when Guptill got to his 50, and what a way to get to his 50, as he actually took Thisara Pereira and put him over the long on region for a six, and that was it. Guptill had got his 50 of just 19 deliveries, and that was the fastest 50 by a New Zealander in T20 cricket. So that was the record which was set, and that was in the fifth over. And then after that, Guptill still continued. He put Chamira over the square leg boundary for a six. Then Pereira got one more tap for himself, as another front foot heave sailed over the deep mid wicket region for a six. And then finally Guptill was out, to the, I would say, to the delight of the Kiwis, as Guptill had collected 63 runs of just 25 balls with 6 fours and 5 sixes, and as I said, he scored the fastest T20 50 by a New Zealander in T20 cricket. But what Sri Lanka would have been probably very happy to see the back of Guptill, because Kane Williamson, the New Zealand captain, is a sedate player. He was more looking like a spectator there, as Guptill was doing all the scoring, and the partnership in reply to Sri Lanka's 142 for 8, with Guptill scoring 63 of the runs. The New Zealand score read 89 for 1 at that stage in the 7th over. So it was simply carnage going on, but no one realized. The Sri Lankans probably were very happy that they had got rid of Martin Guptill, but they never realized that there was a storm which was going to come in the name of Colin Munro. Now, Colin Munro, as I said, he's one who has already made a mark in domestic cricket. In 2015 he got to some, he already has one big record in his name, where he has hit the fastest century, I suppose. And today, as I said, Sri Lanka would have least expected that there was a storm which was to come, and that storm came in the name of Colin Munro. And Colin Munro actually translated his domestic hitting into the international scene here. As first he started off his pyrotechnics. As the second ball of the 7th over, he went down out of his crease and carted the ball over the long on with a full swing of the bat as it sailed over for a six. And after that, Van der Sey came in. Now Van der Sey, who has already was really taken to the cleaners in the over which was bowled by Guptill, had laid 20 runs, and now Van der Sey had to really bear the brunt of the blade of Munro, as Munro carted him for 3 sixes in that over to collect 21 runs. Munro started it. Munro actually hit a six which took New Zealand past the 100 mark. He actually cleared his front foot, and with the turn he sent it high, wide and handsome over the deep mid-wicket region for a six. The fifth delivery from Van der Sey was deposited into the long off, over the long off for a six, that was a flat shot, and then the final ball that Van der Sey sent once again disappeared. This one went over the deep square leg of a slog sweep shot for a six, and that was what Colin Munro was doing. And as I said, Van der Sey first he leaked 20 runs, and now he leaked 21 runs, 41 runs coming off his 2 overs. The right arm leg spinner totally taken apart there, and now it was Isru Udana's time to actually bear the brunt of Munro's blade, as Munro dispatched a slower delivery which was bowled by Udana, which was wide outside the off stump. He sent it to the boundary there, and what a shot that was. In fact, so that was a beautiful shot from Munro there, and then then the 10th over, which was bowled by Dushmantha Chameera. Now Dushmantha Chameera is a pacey bowler, but well, it didn't matter. Munro was there. He was there only to hit the ball today. He was one person who was eyeing absolutely sixes at Eden Park, Auckland. He took full advantage of the small ground here as he took a full ball and put it into the crowd for a six of the bowling of Chameera, and then Chameera was hit for a boundary as this was hit over the infield for a four, and then finally it was when he hit that four. In fact, once he hit that four, he had reached 44 at that time, and now the final ball was coming, and it was only just probably 3 or 4 runs to get, but for Munro it was a very important delivery, because if he could hit a 6 and complete it, he would have got the second fastest 50 in T20 cricket, and that's what he precisely did. Chameera was the bowler, Munro was the batsman, and Munro hit his 7-6 here as he completed the second fastest 50 in T20 cricket by hitting 7 sixes in 14 balls, and he also ended the game by actually putting the ball. He was on the front foot and he sent it over the deep square leg boundary for a 6 to actually bring an end to the match by hitting the second fastest 50, as I said, in international cricket, in T20 cricket, and this particular 50 was his second fastest, and as I've already told you, Yuvraj Singh of India holds the record for the fastest 50 in T20 cricket, and that was of just 12 deliveries. So what a match. And as I said, I just wanted to enact, dear friends and subscribers, about what really happened at Eden Park in Auckland. Now let's look at the card here. Martin Guptill, 63 of 25 deliveries, 6 fours and 5 sixes. Williamson, as I said, was looking just a mere spectator. I would say he was like a mere spectator in between Guptill and Munro, as Guptill and Munro absolutely murdered the Sri Lankan attack, and the Sri Lankan attack, I would say, they didn't have any face to show. He really reduced them to nothing today, and then Colin Munro, as I said, the storm started, which reeled off an unbeaten 50 of just 14 deliveries with 1 4 and 7 magnificent sixes hit with enormous power by Colin Munro, and Williamson, the captain, looking like a mere spectator, unbeaten on 32 of just 21 deliveries with 3 fours, match over. And look at that run rate of New Zealand. Sri Lanka scoring 142 for 8 in 20 overs, New Zealand clearing the target in just 10 overs at a rate of 14.70 runs per over, and this was absolute dynamite stuff coming in from the Kiwis here. 147 for 1. Isuru Udana, look at the bowling. The bowling was absolutely, I would say, made mincemeat, I would say. Isura Udana coming into the team here today, 3 overs cracked for 34 runs. Chameera 3 overs was totally dismantled for 46 runs. Van der Sey was, he was murdered for 41 runs of his 2 overs. And Pereira's 2 overs, 26 runs and 1 wicket, was the only bowling figure that one could at least see it. It was such scintillating stuff from Colin Munro and Guptill, and player of the match was the second fastest 50 by anyone in T20 cricket, as Colin Munro goes into the record books there, and he was the man of the match. What a match. I mean, look at that way the Kiwis played. I really want us to say, as I said, Sri Lanka basically overconfidence. It was a small ground. They could have settled and tried to hit the strokes, but they started hitting strokes right from the word go, probably feeling that they could clear the boundary, and that's what really brought their downfall. But it's all over. New Zealand have actually won this T20 series 2-0, and they are going with I would say ounces of confidence, I'm sure, into the T20 World Cup, but they have Pakistan coming in and playing against New Zealand. So that is coming up on 12th of January. Pakistan versus New Zealand, the first T20 match. And it was electric stuff coming in from Martin Guptill and Colin Munro, electrifying the crowd here at this small ground here at Eden Park in Auckland. And you can't ask for any more entertainment than what happened here at Eden Park in Auckland. And I'm sure New Zealand have announced that they are one team that other teams have to contend with in India, the T20 World Cup. What a match this was, and what a bout of hitting from Martin Guptill and Colin Munro in particular. So now, so this is as far as this particular match is concerned. Now, before I leave this cricket show, I'm going to give you an update. I can also give some very good news for all the Afghanistan friends and subscribers and also fans here, because Mohammad Shahzad has got to a century. This is T20 cricket, and can you believe it? Mohammad Shahzad has absolutely charged the Zimbabwean bowlers today, and he's still there unconquered on 101 of just 54 deliveries with 8 fours and 8 sixes. What a knock this is from Mohammad Shahzad. He has really pummeled the Zimbabwean bowlers to all across the park. He has not allowed any bowler to really settle down. This is a T20 match, and this is a live cricket update coming in here from the Sharjah cricket ground. Afghanistan batting first against Zimbabwe, are 154 for 4 currently of 15 overs. Mohammad Shahzad, the opener, is flying like a helicopter, I would say, or like an aeroplane. He is not out on 101 of just 55 deliveries with 8 fours and 8 sixes. And this is the live cricket update coming in from the Sharjah cricket ground in this T20 match, which is happening between Afghanistan and Zimbabwe. And Mohammad Shahzad is really, I would say, he's really lighting the Sharjah cricket ground with his pyrotechnics here. Well, dear fans and subscribers, yesterday had Martin Guptill and Colin Munro create some records. Probably today it could be the turn of Mohammad Shahzad. I mean, I'm sure he has already scored the fastest 50 and the fastest century by an Afghanistan player in T20 cricket. I'm sure that has happened, but it's only a matter of knowing what exactly has been the record. Well, I'm talking to you here. Mohammad Shahzad has sent one more ball flying into the boundary for a 4. This is absolutely tremendous stuff coming in from Mohammad Shahzad. He is absolutely on song today. I mean, look at the score. Afghanistan 159 for 4. Out of that, Mohammad Shahzad is batting on 106 of just 57 deliveries with 9 fours and 8 sixes. This is magnificent stuff coming in from Mohammad Shahzad. Well, these Afghanistan players are really electric players, and they are an exciting bunch of players. And one is very happy to see that international cricket is getting as colorful as it can be. So, well, dear fans, subscribers, on a very exciting and on a very big hitting cricket happening show, this is your host Ram, ending the cricket show for today on this very lively note. And I'll be seeing you blokes tomorrow on my next cricket show. Till such time, this is your host Ram bidding goodbye. Thank you.